Hey, welcome back to the next episode of the S4 Avant swap. If you're new, this is the first time you're watching, thanks for stopping by. Everybody else, thanks for following along on the build. So last video we got the Avant pulled into the garage, we got the S4 over to the other bay. So in this video we're going to start pulling out the engine of the Avant so we can get ready to start swapping in the S4 stuff. Alright, I pulled the fuel pump fuse, so we're just going to let this run until it dies. The idea with that is then we don't have fuel pressure when we're cracking lines and spilling fuel everywhere. So let's see, I'll give it a couple seconds to see if we got the right fuse. Maybe that wasn't the wrong fuse because we're still chugging along here, no problem. Put the parking brake on. Oh, there we go. Just died. So, take the key out. It's exactly what we want. Now, I'm going to do a couple things. I'm going to undo the seats while we still have power. Basically everything that we need the car plugged in and ready to drive still to accomplish, such as draining the fuel pump. All the things that were really hard to do with the S4 because it was crashed and not powering on. Front of the car is up, wheels are off, so I'm going to start taking the bumper off now. It's not too big a job, so I should have that off pretty quickly, and then I'll start pulling off the whole front end. So the front of the car is off, we got the bumper off, headlights are out, the crash bar across the front is off. So making pretty good progress. It's a lot easier to take stuff apart when it's all intact and not mashed up from crashing, which is cool. And the A4 2-liter engine, there's just so much more space to work around here. So I think we'll be able to get this dropped pretty quickly. I'm gonna call it for tonight, and then I'll come back out tomorrow after work and continue pulling the front end. Don't have a whole lot more to do, just coolant lines, AC stuff, and then we basically pull off this whole front end, and then the motor is exposed. We can start working on disconnecting that. Been making some huge progress here today. Drained the coolant, got a lot of the engine disconnected, so we've got all the wiring and vacuum stuff on this side. The kind of false firewall behind the engine, the coolant lines, brake booster, just wrapping up kind of the last of the electrical stuff. And then at some point I need to disconnect the AC, power steering, and I guess there's a transmission cooler or some sort of automatic transmission thing I've never dealt with before. And then I can pull the front clip, and then the engine will be ready to go. So this is all definitely going a lot easier when the engine is all together and nothing's broken. It's easier to follow lines and see what goes where, and nothing's crumpled, so should have this out pretty quickly. I got the whole front end off the A4 now. It actually really comes apart very easily. It's pretty cool. The automatic transmission, I guess, has oil cooler lines that go through the radiator. I was not aware of that, never had an automatic transmission before. So I'm gonna have to get a different radiator that is for manual transmissions that won't have those extra coolant lines for the oil system. A little bit more coolant stuff to disconnect. Power steering pump, a couple other lines like that. And then we should be ready to start dropping the whole engine subframe assembly, which is pretty crazy how fast this has gone. But going out tonight, so that's gonna wrap it up for now. I guess we'll hit it tomorrow morning. Alright, we're back. Just pulled out the ECU. That came out really easily because it didn't have the kind of protection frame around it. So we're moving along, pulled out some more coolant stuff. Basically need to disconnect the power steering, drain the oil, drain the brakes, disconnect those, and then I think we're getting pretty close to being ready to drop this. Little update, the Avant is fully up in the air, the exhaust is out, the whole engine is pretty much disconnected now. I'm gonna just finish dropping the drive shaft now in the back, and then I'll be able to start lowering the subframe down. So I just drained out all the brake fluid so we don't have too much of a mess now. One of the last things I've got to do is disconnect the control arms so we can drop the whole subframe. And I played around with the other side a little bit. This car's got almost 200,000 miles. I don't think these have ever been changed. They're pretty rusty stuck. I could not break them free. And I figured nobody's gonna want 200,000 mile control arms, so nobody's gonna feel too bad when I just do it this way. been trying to not hack stuff up in this build, just because I like to keep it nice and clean and professional. But instead of wasting hours trying to get out a stuck pinch bolt that's going to go to the recycler anyway, we'll just get this over with. So just like that, getting ready to pull the A4 engine, or I guess drop it. So I've got the hoist hooked up, everything's disconnected that I can see. So I'm going to start lowering it down now, drop the subframe bolts out a little bit at a time, and then hopefully get it down in one piece. I've already got a whole bunch of people that want to buy it, so hopefully it'll be out of the garage in the next couple of days. But this is also the point of no turning back, because once the engine's out and gone, it's got to go S4. So hopefully we get this all to work. So I've been trying to part out as much stuff as I can just to clear out space. I sold the A4 seats, and so the front seats and then this back bench. There's a bunch of gross stuff underneath there that I'm gonna have to clean out. That was actually somebody messaging me now, a bunch of people trying to buy the engine, the transmission, turbo, all kinds of parts off the S4, so hopefully we can keep that happening as well as the build progressing, just so I have more cash flow and more space in the garage. But you know, I've already pulled out, there's literally over $20 in change from the S4 behind the console, so I'm really curious to see what we're going to find when I pull off the kind of center console here next. And we'll do that once the engine's out. We'll start swapping out the automatic transmission shifter stuff. So the A4 engine is down now. Went pretty well. I forgot a heat shield over here and it kind of ripped off. So that's what that plastic piece that flew off was from. I know I've got the other one from the S4 still, so should be okay there. Otherwise, yeah, same as last time. Just drop the engine down. Subframe is sitting on the engine stand. Got a jack under the transmission. Hopefully we can get this into the back of somebody's pickup truck with my little Harbor Freight lift here, but I guess we can shorten up the chain as much as we can and hope for the best. Maybe air out their tires. But yeah, somebody's gonna need to buy this real soon because I basically can't put it anywhere. I guess next thing I've got to do is actually go and fix the truck. We got a new alternator for it, so then I can pull the truck out and maybe start storing stuff kind of behind it in the carport where it won't be visible to the neighbors. So that's probably it for right now. Getting that out was a big job and I'm really excited that it's done. So next up we can start prepping the engine bay. So we got to start pulling out the remainder of the automatic transmission stuff and then start installing the actual manual swap stuff, which is crazy. So that's gonna probably be it for tonight. I think I'm actually getting sick, so probably overdoing it currently, but we'll cut the video here. And then next up, we're gonna be installing manual transmission stuff, ripping out the old automatic shifter. It's gonna be really exciting to figure out that side of it, see what bolts up easy, what we have to figure out. I know the wiring is gonna be a really big job and that's kind of looming next. So we'll be working on getting this out of the garage, hopefully into the back of somebody's pickup truck for a couple bucks. And then we'll use that money to buy more pizza so we can work later and get this project done faster. So thanks for following along. Stick around if you like what we're doing. Feel free to subscribe and give us a thumbs up in the comments.